Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we're going to be doing a Newcastle United against Aston Villa preview. This is a game that's quite close to my heart. I love this fixture. Many reasons why, but let's talk about Boxing Day, because if you're going away from home on Boxing Day, is there a better place to go than Newcastle United? I'm sure Aston Villa fans that do attend this game are going to have a serious night out. So I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you all stay safe. Before we get into the video, I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. So if you are new here, welcome to the Mango Fruit Basket, and if you want to join the Fruit Basket, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on another episode. I've been doing a little bit of research on this game, and the similarities between the two clubs on and off the field are absolutely staggering. So I'm going to give you my general overall thoughts about how both clubs are coming this season and where this game can be won and lost on Thursday. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a brilliant away day on Boxing Day for Villa. Everyone goes fancy dress, and it's going to be a battle of a game. This game is going to actually be so intense, so fun to watch. I actually think it's going to be the best game of Boxing Day. And there's a lot of similarities between both clubs. They're both PSR brothers, just battling against PSR, both having to sell assets in the summer just to comply with PSR rules. But I love the ambition shown by both clubs. Both of them have been on similar trajectories over the past couple of years. They were both in dire straits when Eddie Howe took over, Unai Emery took over, and they both unexpectedly qualified for Champions League. So I wish Aston Villa all the best in the Champions League, and I'm rooting for them every minute of every game. But let's strip it back a bit. When Unai Emery took over, when Eddie Howe took over, both clubs were in a place that they didn't want to be. But the trajectory and ambition has been excellent, and that's come along with some great recruitment. When you think of Yuri Tillemans, John Duran, Alexander Isak, Bruno Guimaraes, both of them have recruited well to build an excellent starting 11. When you're looking at where both clubs are, it's quite fascinating because they're battling against each other for the same out goal, both trying to break into that top six. I would love to see them both do it, but they're both massive clubs with huge, passionate fan bases, and I can't wait for this game on Thursday. They both started the season well, had a little blip, and now they're back in form, so it's just built up to an exceptional game of football. Despite being very similar in terms of where they are off the field and their ambitions, it's staggering just how similar they are on the field this season as well. So let's go through a couple of statistics. Even when you look at the statistics between the two clubs, it's defined by small percentages. So let's have a look at a few. You've got your XG. Aston Villa sitting on 1.59, Newcastle sitting on 1.62, and then you look at your non-penalty XG. Aston Villa 1.5, Newcastle 1.53. So it's extremely similar, and that's just not one-off either. If you look at the possession each club have had this season, this is on average. Aston Villa 50.1, Newcastle 50.5. Again, progressive carries throughout this season. Aston Villa 308, Newcastle 309. So you're probably thinking, oh, that could just be a one-off. So what they're like off the ball? Well, tackles won this season. Aston Villa were 164, Newcastle were 170. Interceptions, Aston Villa with 120, Newcastle with 129. And I even went as far as looking at how many launches by the goalkeeper. Newcastle with 165, Aston Villa with 168. So the similarities between the two clubs are absolutely bonkers. And then you look at their starting 11, and it's very similar as well. I would say from midfield to their front line, each team are incredibly dangerous and very balanced, but they both have vulnerabilities in their backline. So even their starting 11 is quite similar. I actually think this game is going to be unreal from a tactical point of view, from the players' personnel point of view. Like I mentioned earlier, from the midfield and forward line, both can have match winners, both can win a game in an instant, but they're both very naive and shaky at the back as well. So I do expect goals, because I look at Aston Villa and I think on their day they can beat anybody. Look at what they did to Man City. Look at how much Morgan Rogers can destroy teams just in an instant. Thing about his goal against Manchester City, he picks up the ball deep in his own half. He had no right to burst through Man City the way he did, and if Newcastle aren't switched on, he can do that in Newcastle without a doubt. They both play direct and attacking football, and they're both very similar in the way they transition. So I actually think this game is going to be won and lost in the midfield battle, and I can't see any side dominating this game. I think you're going to win the first battle, we're going to win the second battle. They might win the third battle, but we'll win the fourth battle. I think think it's going to be one of those types of games, and whoever can turn the ball over the most has the most chance of scoring, because they've both got absolute match winners in their squad. When you think Alexander Isak, John Duran, they can both pick out moments in an instant, and both teams are full of players that have enormous amounts of quality that can create chances in an instant. When you think of John McGinn, Yuri Tillemans, Morgan Rogers, you think of Sandro, you think of Bruno, you think of Anthony Gordon, have the ability to punish the opposition if the space is afforded to them. And I know I'm comparing them a lot, but there is a lot of comparisons because they're not too one-dimensional either. You've got Morgan Rogers, who can aggressively just cut through you with a dribble. You've got Yuri Tillemans, who can play through you. So Aston Villa can punish you many different ways. Similar with Newcastle as well. I think Tonali has got that ability to drive through, and I think Bruno has the vision to be creative. And then you've got your wingers who can undoubtedly beat you one-on-one. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the midfield battle is going to be pivotal. I love the balance of this Aston Villa squad. You've got Unana, Kamara just screening the back line. Wonderful thing about those two is if you want to get physical with them, they can be physical. If you want to be a footballing side and try and play football with them, they can have the quality to absolutely play off the park. So they've got that nice balance. But I also think that about Newcastle as well. I think Joe Linton's going to be a massive miss because his physicality can compete with the likes of Onana. So Tonali and Bruno are going to have to be workhorses in that midfield, and I think we'll get that from Tonali. I think he's shown the capabilities being physical, and that's what I like about this matchup. It's going to be a battle in that midfield. Sometimes Villa will come on top, sometimes Newcastle will come on top, and it's who can take their chances the most. And you've got two informed strikers when you think of Alexander Isak, when you think of John Duran. Both of them are capable of moments of magic. John Duran's got a rocket from distance. Alexander Isak's got the ability to beat 4 or 5 players before slotting it home. So the magic between the two is going to be electric. And it absolutely comes down to which defence can be more solid. But the funny thing is, both defences have a mistake in them, and they've both conceded similar goals this season. When Aston Villa played RB Leipzig and when Newcastle played Brentford away, both of them let the ball bounce and then the striker just got in. So that's what I mean. Both of them have the capabilities of just losing that concentration and allowing the opposition to take advantage. And I think both teams transition very similar, especially now that Lewis Hall is in left back. Gordon's been coming in that inside channel, and Lewis Hall's been providing the width. That's exactly what Aston Villa do. Whether it be John McGinn or Morgan Rogers on the left, they come inside to support the channel, and the width's provided by Lucas Digne. And that's one thing both teams are going to be wary of, oncoming runners, because what I love about both teams is how many bodies they commit forward in transition moments. And then both strikers are quite similar in terms of form, but quite different in the way they play. I think Alexander Isak's got more movement, so if he can move them centre-backs out of position, just opens a space for oncoming runners, whereas John Duran can impact games from anywhere on the pitch. So they both bring qualities, but in different ways. I seriously think this game is just so difficult to predict, because it can either be both sides just cancelling each other out, or because both sides are so good going forward, it's going to be like a basketball end-to-end game. But I'm going to give you my prediction. I'm going to go Newcastle United 2, Aston Villa 2. But seriously, I'm a big fan of both clubs, and I hope both clubs just continue to disrupt the cartel. So Aston Villa, good luck on your trip on Boxing Day. Good luck on your UEFA Champions League campaign. But I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know your predictions in the below. Let me know how you think this game's going to plan out, because for me personally, it's so difficult to predict. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm actually going to this game, so I don't know if my match review will be that day or the day after. It just depends how many drinks I've had. But have a lovely Christmas, everybody, and thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the other side.